in terms of my background and why Oxford, I come from a family that has always discussed and debated topics, things like chores to current affairs, but also legal issues. Both real cases that were in the media, but also private actions brought by family members. And I always enjoyed that. And I also enjoyed the drama side on TV, surprise, surprise. I obviously knew from a young age that reality and TV are very different, and that real life as a lawyer is probably not going to be the way it is in fictional courtrooms and the law firm intrigues. However, the idea of constructing solid legal arguments and conveying them and convincing people of them was always very fascinating to me, which is why I was interested in law from a very young age. So how I ended up in Oxford and why I chose that, I have quite an international background. I grew up in Sweden, France and Belgium. I went to British and French schools, and when it came to choosing university, I wanted something to continue that kind of environment. So I wanted a university that academic excellence in terms of teaching. I wanted somewhere that was international in terms of outlook and also the student body. I wanted somewhere that wasn't too big, wasn't too small, and I wanted somewhere that was fun, had lots of opportunities in addition to the academic side of things. And I ended up going to Oxford on a school trip, and I loved it as a tourist. It ticked all the boxes I just mentioned, and so I applied. I got invited for an interview, an assessment, I got an offer, I got in, and I ended up doing course 2. So that's law with law studies in Europe, and I spent a year in Germany as part of that. I matriculated in 2000, and I was at St. Hilda's, which at the time was an all-girls college. I had excellent tutors both at Hilda's and other colleges, and obviously, like everyone else, I was privileged to attend lectures by fantastic people. So academic side, wonderful. In terms of societies, there is anything and everything on offer, and if against the odds there'd be something that you think is missing, well, you can just start your own society, and I'm sure there'll be people who want to join it. I joined a lot of different societies, and I was active in some, less active in others. I joined the Law Society, I joined the Union, I joined the European Affairs Society, where I was social secretary and I organised a ball. I joined the Chinese Cultural Society, where I was president for a term. I joined the handball club, where I was admitted, even though that's more to do with their sense of inclusion as opposed to any particular handball skills on my part. I did rowing, I was in drama cuppers, you name it. I did a lot of different things, and I had a great time. So after graduation, I first continued studying, because as part of my degree, I have a number of electives, and one of mine was competition law, competition law, and I loved it. And so I decided to continue studying it for a while, so I did doctoral studies in competition law. After that, I did the LPC, the legal practice course, and then I started my training contract at a large international firm. And as part of that, I did 4 seats. Like any other trainee, I did construction litigation, I did EU competition law, I did corporate law, and I did finance. And even though I enjoyed all my seats, competition law was still number 1 for me. And so I did a stint at the Competition Commission. As it then was, the functions have now been transferred to the Competition and Markets Authority. So I was working there as part of a market investigation. After that, I went in-house, and I now work for the Lego Group. So I have come from a law firm, and then I worked with authority, and now in-house. So in terms of advice, I think it's always very good to know what you want, but even if you don't, it's fine. And actually, it's more important to be open to new opportunities, because you can either change your mind as to what you want, or you can realize that something that you wanted is good, but actually something else is even better. And at the risk of sounding like a cliche, sometimes when things don't go your way, something what you think you really want doesn't actually happen, well, something better might be just around the corner. And I know from experience that there are plenty of times where that's happened to me, where at the time you think, I really wanted that, but actually something better has happened, and I wouldn't be here today if that hadn't happened all those times.